Hello, everyone. Welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Loopring. And before we do, usually look at Bitcoin, right? It's kind of important to understand what's going on with the big dog there. It's kind of been a little bit difficult recently. So let's take a look here. So looking at Bitcoin, I kind of drew out this earlier, and we'll see if this actually happens or comes to fruition. But we do have a potential double bottom pattern, right around 56,000 kind of being the bottoms. So if it were to happen, of course, typically a double bottom comes up to break the previous resistance right here in the middle of the W, and then it'll come down to test that as a support level. So ultimately, for me, my entry would be around here for the upside, essentially for a long position, right? But don't get me wrong, between now and then, my HODL portfolio, I'm dollar cost averaging like crazy. Okay, so I think you should too. Just make sure that you are adding to your position. I think Ethereum is also a very, very good one to kind of buy in, closer to 4,000 if possible, before we get this next leg up. But all in all, Bitcoin's not in terrible shape, but I still don't trust it. It hasn't given me confirmation that it's moving the direction I want it to yet. So let's go ahead and take a look at Loopring. And really quick, just before we do, just a heads up, I'm not a financial advisor. So if you are new to the channel, just note that I love teaching people how to trade, right? It's my passion. And I can tell you that I'm very good at trading too. Been trading for over 15 years. And my goal is to help you kind of become a better trader, right? That's why I created this channel. And that's the reason why I have a Patreon community as well. Link in the description below for that. Check that out. See if you might like it. It's really, really cool. It's growing fast. I'm going to have to limit the amount of members here soon because yeah, it's getting closer to 300 and I need to make sure I have more time with my members and to have that availability, right? So heads up on that. Regardless, looking at Loopring here, let's go ahead and go to the one-day chart and kind of see. We'll look at the standard stuff, work our way down, right? Obviously, we've got the moving averages here. They're well behind. We don't really even need to bother looking at those right now. The key takeaway here is that we're still over 50 and under 70 on the RSI for the one-day chart. This is all good news, right? Because 70 can work as a resistance level sometimes, but once it's broken, it can become a strong support. And if you kind of look at the RSI right here and you kind of see where the price is at, you can tell that 70 on the RSI is effectively right here at about $3.27. That appears to be a pretty strong resistance level for the Loopring because the one-day candlestick close has not closed above that level yet, right? And coincidentally, that's a Fibonacci retracement line, and the price is right there. So if we can get that candlestick to close today above on the one-day chart, that'd probably be a pretty good consideration to go long because even though, excuse me, it hasn't broken its all-time high yet, that is a strong, strong consideration because when the one-day candlestick can close above a major support or resistance level, that reaffirms that support or resistance, right? So I think we're looking here pretty good for Loopring. All in all, fantastic stuff. Furthermore, we got a potential MACD convergence on the horizon as well. So just know you've been warned. Granted, the one-day candlesticks or the one-day chart MACD convergence isn't necessarily the strongest, but yeah, it's okay. It still works very well. Now taking a look here at the 4-hour chart. All right, so let's see what's going on here. You can see the price came above, came down. Now it looks like it's testing that potential support level there at about 327. We can see RSI try to peak up over 70, but still under, which is great. We actually like to see the RSI stay under 70. If I could have an RSI just kind of hugging 70 consistently on the 4-hour chart, I'm happy with that. Because even though yes, it's working as a tentative resistance, if it doesn't break above, then it's going to create these healthier patterns, right? Because right now it's consolidating and we need that. We don't want the price to just shoot to the moon, right? We want healthy consolidation. All right, so let's take a look at TD sequential, kind of see where we're at. And this makes sense, right? See, we're at a 9 for TD sequential. So we've had 9 4-hour candlesticks worth of bullish momentum. So 36 straight hours of bullish momentum. Granted, there's a couple of little sell-offs here, but overall, the overall sentiment is bullish in that time frame. So is it surprising to see a pullback here? No, of course not. That's completely standard. That's the way it should work. And what we want is for the price to kind of consolidate right here in this area for at least, I would say, we want no less than 4-hour candlesticks, so 16 hours worth of consolidation before it legs up again. So if we look at this again 16 hours later and we see the price is kind of hovering right there and it broke that one-day candlestick close at 327, then we should be in pretty good shape to see the price continue upwards, right? But for right now, we can expect a pullback based on the sheer fact that it's increased consistently over a short amount of time. And speaking of which, let's see here, what is that time frame? So in the last 36 hours, it's up about 44%. Yeah, that's a decent amount of movement, right? Now for crypto, that could be small, that's chump change, so to speak. And as you can see back here, look, Loopring hit a 9 and just kept on going crazy. So there's no doubt that it could happen again, right? So if you're a gambling person, go ahead and jump on in. That's okay. I prefer not to gamble. You know, the difference between gamblers and traders is risk tolerance. And if you have good risk tolerance, you're going to know that you don't want to take entry just yet. Wouldn't it be a terrible idea to dollar cost average if you're considering, you know, this Loopring being a big picture coin for you? You know this is going to be something that you want to invest in long term. Great, add to your position. But I do feel like we might see a slight pullback here. But this also could hold as a support, right? We don't have enough data to understand that just yet. But previously, you can tell it worked as a strong resistance level. You see that what? There's 4 hours of strong resistance, and it couldn't pass it. So pass it today, but it's back down below again, right? So I would say proceed with caution, but also, you know, wait. I like to wait for the 1 day candlestick to close. That's my personal thoughts. Oftentimes you can miss out on opportunities there too. So just bear that in mind. If you wait, we could miss out. So it wouldn't hurt to, you know, maybe consider adding to your position because it does look very bullish. It's just right at the top of that bullish pattern, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to invest when something is maxed out. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the 1 hour chart and see what's going on here. Ichimoku cloud, how you doing? All right, so look at this. We're up above the cloud. Awesome. The baseline is below the conversion line, so we're still in good shape there. And obviously, we haven't seen the lagging span intersect with the price yet. So technically speaking, the Ichimoku cloud is giving us not necessarily a buy signal, but just a signal to let us know that we can still keep our position open. But bear in mind, as soon as this line intersects with this one here, we get that bearish type of divergence, which could very effectively happen soon, then you'd want to exit your position. It's one of those two things that happens first. You either get a bearish type of divergence on those two averages, or the lagging span intersects with the price, and that's when you cut your losses. Oftentimes it's not even a loss though, it's just when you get out of your position, right? Because the Ichimoku cloud is designed to create healthy patterns. That's why it's really helped me over the years too, because when you get in, you essentially have a potential, you have like almost a guarantee the price is going up. And when you get out, you have a guarantee the price is going to be coming down. It's kind of one of those win-win situations where you're not gambling trying to find the bottom, chase the bottom, or chase the top. You kind of get in when the momentum is moving and you get out when the momentum is losing, right? It's one of those things. So familiarize yourself with the Ichimoku cloud. It's a fantastic tool. Taking a look at TD sequential here, we can see we're at, wow, surprise, another 9, right? So seeing a pullback right now is completely normal, completely standard. How far will it pull back? It's hard to say specifically. Oftentimes the pullbacks come down to the next major support level. However, I feel like this has enough momentum to consider closing right here at this point. So I would say that we're more likely than not to have the price kind of stay around 327, consolidate for a moment, and then increase again. It just has that kind of feeling, right? That's what it looks like. Because there's all bullish sentiment here. There's nothing bearish except for the fact that we're overextended on the 1 hour and the 4 hour TD sequential, which is not a bad thing. It just really means that you kind of got to pay attention and ensure you don't just you know, let it ride for too long, if that makes any sense. So me personally, I would have probably taken profits by now. Not a significant amount, of course, because I like to leave, you know, a majority of my foundation, whatever I initially invest in there. But oftentimes I'll take my profits out or just take out 10 to 20% at a time. And then, of course, add back to my position when the price comes back down, if it comes down. Now, if this is KuCoin, it's a different story. It just keeps going up. But Loopring has proven to kind of work itself within these channels. I mean, look at how significant these channels are. Every time it comes to a certain point, it is holding within the Fibonacci retracement lines. So it's just doing really well, okay? So that's kind of where we're at. So I guess, you know, to summarize here, Loopring, if it were to continue to progress and break its all-time high, bear in mind it has to break 387 and close on the 1 day candlestick to effectively be considered broken, then we're looking here at about 745 as a strong potential for the price. So for lack of better terms, we could see a very significant increase here in the near future. So, you know, 327, $2.80, those are still very affordable prices when you consider where this very well can be. I think it's a strong potential just based on the fundamentals too. Of course, do your own research, but there's a lot of hype in this coin. I would do research on the social sentiment as well. What is it? Lunarcrush.com is a very good website to check out where you can kind of see what's trending, and those things are effectively coins that are taking off. Coins like these are definitely right up at the top of the charts right now. So I hope you found benefit here. Of course, we'll look at Loopring again soon, but I would recommend, again, just, you know, consider waiting for the price to consolidate at 327. If we don't break that on the 1 day candlestick close, kind of we'll reevaluate and see where we go from there. But again, dollar cost average if you have the chance, because I do think this is the calm before the storm, and that Loopring is showing significant signs of being right back on track. We do have nice highs and nice healthy, you know, higher highs and higher lows. Awesome stuff. All right, so thanks again for joining me here. If you're not currently a patron, check that out, of course, in your own time, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much. Take care.